The day after the attack, Governor, I stood in the Rose Garden and I told the American people and the world that we were going to find out exactly what happened, that this was an act of terror. That's what I said.
You said in the Rose Garden, the day after the attack, it was an act of terror. It was not a spontaneous demonstration. Is that what you're saying?
Please proceed, Governor.
I want to make sure we get that for the record, because it took the president 14 days before he called the attack in Benghazi an act of terror.
Get the transcript.
He did, in fact, sir. So let me call it an act of terror.
Can you say that a little louder, Candy?
He did call it an act of terror.
Yesterday, 4 of these extraordinary Americans were killed in an attack on our diplomatic post in Benghazi. The United States condemns in the strongest terms this outrageous and shocking attack. Since our founding, the United States has been a nation that respects all faiths. We reject all efforts to denigrate the religious beliefs of others. But there is absolutely no justification to this type of senseless violence. Of course, yesterday was already a painful day for our nation as we marked the solemn memory of the 9/11 attacks. We mourned with the families who were lost on that day. No acts of terror will ever shake the resolve of this great nation.
And I think actually, you know, because right after that, I did turn around and say, but you're totally correct, that they spent 2 weeks telling us this was about a tape and that there was a, you know, this riot outside the Benghazi consulate, which there wasn't. So he was right in the main. I just think he picked the wrong word.
Based on the information that we have at present, is that in fact what this began as was a spontaneous, not a premeditated response to what had transpired in Cairo. In Cairo, as you know, a few hours earlier, there was a violent protest that was undertaken in reaction to this very offensive video that was disseminated. But what sparked the recent violence was the airing on the internet of a very hateful, very offensive video.
Okay, I want to talk about Libya for a second, because on 9/11 of this past year, our embassy was attacked there, and we lost 4 people, including the ambassador. And it was reported that people just went crazy and wild because of this anti-Muslim movie, or anti-Muhammad, I guess, movie. But then I heard Hillary Clinton say that it was an act of terrorism. Is it? What do you say?
Well, we're still doing an investigation. There's no doubt that the kind of weapons that were used, the ongoing assault, that it wasn't just a mob action. Now, you know, we don't have all the information yet, and so we're still gathering it.